Today, federal agriculture authorities destroyed a murder hornet nest, releasing these images showing dozens of the invasive insects trapped inside that long, clear tube. The nest of Asian giant hornets, an invasive species, was the first ever found in the United States. The 2-inch insects are called murder hornets because they're predators of valuable honeybees.
What is that? What is that? What is it? Oh, no, not the bees! Not the bees! Ah! I'm losing my eyes! Eyes! Ah! Ah!
You know what? It occurred to me. I need to mix it up a little bit on this channel. I need to bring in some world news, not necessarily politics, but just other interesting topics to mix it up. You know, we can't just be talking about Hollywood all the time. It gets boring, right? Smash like if you'd like me to inject a little more variety on the channel. And I hope that you've picked today as the day you subscribe as well. Now, over the weekend, because it's 2020, it was announced that a giant nest of M hornets, we're going to call them, I think you know what I'm talking about, was found and destroyed in Washington. The site was something I couldn't even have imagined. It's like sci-fi. The suits, the size of these things. Now, I am no fan of hornets. Look, if you're a bumblebee and you're just I'm just a little bumblebee, I'm just over here, gonna take a little nectar, I let you be. All right? Literally. Hornets, it's on site. On site. I see one, you're done. I remember when they used to sting my dog, and he would try to eat them because he was a lab, and labs are not the smartest all the time. If there was a nest on my house, near my house, it's on site. You know what? If I see one out, even if I'm not at my house, I get a chance, I'm rocking that thing. Then I'm going to run like a hero back to my car. Spray it with a hose, whatever I need to do. That if you're a honeybee, I appreciate you. You buzz right along. But if you're a hornet or a wasp, on site, just so we're clear. My wife, just the amount of fear she has for hornets has made me this way. I don't really bother. They don't really frighten me at all. But she gets so scared of them that, like, I've been trained now to eradicate them. The idea that these things, look at how big they are. Look at how big it is. Imagine that thing. Now, this is back in May when this was published in Washington. In his decades of beekeeping, Ted McFall had never seen anything like it. As he pulled his truck up to check on a group of hives near Custer, Washington in November, he could spot from his window a mess of bee carcasses on the ground. As he looked closer, he saw a pile of dead members of the colony. In front of the hive, even more carnage inside. Thousands of bees with their heads torn off. I couldn't wrap my head around what could have done that. Only later did he come to suspect what actually did it. With queens that can grow 2 inches long, Asian giant hornets can use mandibles shaped like spiked shark fins to wipe out a honeybee hive in a matter of hours, decapitating the bees and flying away with thoraxes to feed their young. For larger targets, the hornet's potent venom and stinger, long enough to puncture a beekeeping suit, make for an excruciating combination that victims have likened to a hot metal driving into their skin. In Japan, the hornets kill 50 people a year. Now, for the first time, they have arrived in the United States. Why not? Thanks a lot, Asia. Look, it's bad enough we got anime, all right? Just kidding, just kidding, just kidding. Mr. McFall is still not certain that Asian giant hornets were responsible for the plunder of his hive, but 2 of their predatory insects were discovered last fall in the northwest corner of Washington state, a few miles north of his property. The first sightings in the United States. Scientists have since embarked on a full-scale hunt for them, worried that the invaders could decimate bee populations in the United States and establish a deep presence that all hope for removal could be lost. And by the way, we have a shortage with bees. And of course, now we have a nest. Look at how big this thing is. It's so big that it can fly with that tracker on it. First nest of Asian giant hornets found in the United States successfully been destroyed by scientists. The nest is in the state of Washington, also near, of course it is. By putting tracker devices on hornets, and it was found by putting tracker devices on hornets, and it was sucked out of a tree using a vacuum hose. The invasive species have powerful sting and can spit venom. They could spit venom too? Of course. They target honeybees, which pollinate crops and can destroy a colony in a matter of hours. The nest in Washington was found when entomologists, scientists that study insects, used dental floss to tie tracking devices to 3 hornets. That's how big they are. The nest in Washington was found. The nest of around 200 was discovered in the city of Blaine, close to the Canadian border. Close the border to bees. On Saturday, a crew of scientists wearing protective suits vacuumed the insects from a tree, which will now be cut down to remove any further nests. Look at these pictures. Don't these people look like they're wearing weird spacesuits? And look at this video. Look at these things in the canister. Now, I don't know why they're not moving. Maybe they smoked them out first or something.
So nice.
Look at these suits that they're wearing. Imagine being a photographer not wearing any protective gear. No thanks. Looks like they're out there at dawn or dusk, and they have some sort of red lighting, infrared maybe. All done to ensure the safety and avoid appropriate for that. Let's see. Here's a closer picture. Look at the space aliens. This is where we're at now. This is where we're at. We have to wear weird space alien suits to remove giant hornets. I don't know what else to tell you. This thing is like peak 2020. I don't know what these people were paid, but they weren't paid enough. And I just don't know how you stop this from getting worse. I don't know. I mean, it's insane. Now you have to cut down the tree. Look at the size of this thing. Look how big it is. If I saw that thing, it might be the last day I go outside. Now, it's normally found in China and Japan. Shocking. Come on now. This is cute. An Asian giant hornet enjoyed some strawberry jam after being tagged yesterday. That's not cute. Look at how... No, nothing about that is cute. Nothing. There's like 2 months and 4 days left in 2020. Please, let's make it. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.